Prime Minister addresses the nation, gasping for oxygen, gives assurances of situation getting better, also makes his mind clear, no lockdown. But Maharashtra is thinking about it. The cabinet ministers there have written into the chief minister urging him to put a complete lockdown for at least 15 days. Decision expected tomorrow. In Delhi, 500 patients, 4 hours of oxygen left. That's the story of one GTB hospital. Delhi minister now writes an SOS letter to the union government. Delhi High Court, meanwhile, cites NDTV reports talking about the need for oxygen. Government addressing the situation. Oxygen Express begins. And listen into this Mumbai doctor working 24/7. She breaks down saying never seen anything like this ever.
We have to literally manage patients at home with oxygen. And this is not something we are enjoying. हम young लोगों को देख रहे हैं. I mean, we have a 35-year-old who's on the ventilator, and we are not able to help people now. I think ये जो emotional breakdown है, हम doctors में अब सबको कोई ना कोई समय हो रहा है because we've not been so helpless. Okay.
And land now running out. Karnataka government gives in 1 to 2 kilometers outside the cities allotted to conduct cremations for those who die due to COVID. And have we learnt no lessons at all? From Mumbai to Delhi, migrants begin to leave again, saying they have no money, no food, can't stay in the city. The US Disease Center warning issued for India says don't travel to India even if you're fully vaccinated. Hello and welcome. We are watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. India is gasping for oxygen. India is in middle of a catastrophic health crisis. Hospitals and doctors are now calling NDTV with SOS messages. This is India's worst medical nightmare, and as we speak, several hospitals, even in the capital, are saying they're left with 3, 4, 8 hours of oxygen only. What happens tonight when these oxygen supplies run out? What happens to those patients? Now, in middle of all of these worst kind of nightmare that India is facing at the moment, the Prime Minister addressed the nation. There were assurances that he gave, but effectively the takeaway from that was that there will be no lockdown. Here are the highlights.
आज की स्थिति में हमें देश को लॉकडाउन से बचाना है. मैं राज्यों से भी अनुरोध करूंगा कि वो लॉकडाउन को अंतिम विकल्प के रूप में ही इस्तेमाल करें. लॉकडाउन से बचने की भरपूर कोशिश करनी है और माइक्रो कंटेनमेंट जोन पर ही ध्यान केंद्रित करना है. हम अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था की सेहत भी सुधारेंगे और देशवासियों की सेहत का भी ध्यान रखेंगे. इस बार कोरोना संकट में देश के अनेक हिस्से में ऑक्सीजन की डिमांड बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ी है. इस विषय पर तेजी से और पूरी संवेदनशीलता के साथ काम किया जा रहा है. केंद्र सरकार, राज्य सरकारें, प्राइवेट सेक्टर, सभी की पूरी कोशिश है कि हर जरूरतमंद को ऑक्सीजन मिले. ऑक्सीजन प्रोडक्शन और सप्लाई को बढ़ाने के लिए भी कई स्तरों पर उपाय किए जा रहे हैं. मेरा राज्य प्रशासन से आग्रह है कि वो श्रमिकों का भरोसा जगाए रखे. उनसे आग्रह करें कि वो जहां है वहीं रहे. राज्यों द्वारा दिया गया ये भरोसा उनकी बहुत मदद करेगा कि वो जिस शहर में हैं वहीं पर अगले कुछ दिनों में वैक्सीन भी लगेगी और उनका काम भी बंद नहीं होगा. साथियों, पिछली बार जो परिस्थितियां थी वो अभी से काफी भिन्न थी। तब हमारे पास इस वैश्विक महामारी से लड़ने के लिए कोरोना स्पेसिफिक मेडिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं था, लेकिन बहुत ही कम समय में हमने इन चीजों में सुधार किया।
Nawab Malik from the Maharashtra cabinet, and his response to the Prime Minister's speech has been that what are we supposed to do? Look at the high courts, even they are asking for lockdown. People on the roads going into voluntary lockdowns, but the Prime Minister wants us not to implement one.
लॉकडाउन से बचे ये सलाह देने का काम उन्होंने किया। दूसरी तरफ देश के कई हाई कोर्ट के आदेश आ रहे हैं शहरों में लॉकडाउन लगाने के। निश्चित रूप से जिस तरह से आंकड़े बढ़े, लॉकडाउन बिना कोई उपाय नहीं, ये परिस्थिति निर्माण हो गई है। हमें लगता है कि जिस तरह से देश में कोरोना की लहर है, लॉकडाउन जरूरत है। केंद्र सरकार को राज्यों को मदद देने की जरूरत है। आम और गरीब मजदूरों को कोई मदद का ऐलान करने की जरूरत है।
Let's bring you some more reactions that came into Prime Minister's speech. Manish Tiwari of the Congress Party tweeted subtext of Prime Minister's speech. Guys, you're on your own, kind of your own. If you are able to finally make it to the other side, we will definitely meet again in some Utsav or Mahotsav. Until then, all the best. May God be with you. And this is what he tweeted. Omar Abdullah also tweeted saying Prime Minister Modi's address reads as an admission that COVID wave 1 centralized response, including national lockdown, didn't work. Wave 2 response is now a state problem, further decentralized to Mohalla committees. What a difference a year makes. Meanwhile, Maharashtra cabinet has been discussing a full-fledged lockdown for at least 15 days in the state. That request actually has gone in from the cabinet ministers to the chief minister Uddhav Thackeray, and he is likely to take that call between 8 to 8:30 on Wednesday evening. That's when he'll be addressing the state as well.
लॉकडाऊन शिवाय पर्याय नाही। ब्रेक द चेन आपण नुसती कागदावर अनेक सवलती देऊन होणार नाही। त्यामुळे कठोर लॉकडाऊन करणं हाच त्यातला सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचा निर्णय राहील आणि कठोर लॉकडाऊन करण्याचा निर्णय हा उद्या रात्री 8 वाजेपासून घ्यावा अशा पद्धतीचा आग्रह सगळ्या मंत्रिमंडळाने मुख्यमंत्र्यांना केलेला आहे।
So while Prime Minister and other chief ministers of states wonder what is to be done, really time is ticking and taking away life one after the other. Look at some of these tragic stories now. Heartbreaking visuals from Uttar Pradesh's Varanasi, where a young man lost his life just waiting for a hospital bed. The mother and the son went from one hospital to the other, tragically to no avail. There were just no room for any non-COVID patient. He was then there at the rickshaw, just lying dead at his mother's feet. From Jaunpur in Varanasi, patient loses battle trying to get some help really. Sent back from hospital, Hyderabad woman dies inside the ambulance. No one saw my mother, I was helpless, says the son. And this is while the 26-year-old went from pillar to post trying to get his mother admitted. In
पापा थे, भैया थे और चाचा थे।
क्या कैसे खत्म हुए?
ऑक्सीजन की कमी के कारण।
कब?
ये सुबह 7 बजे।
आप सिलेंडर भी लेके आई थी?
हाँ, सब लेके आए थे, लेकिन ये लोग चाबी नहीं दिए खोलने के लिए।
तो किसने बताया था आपको ऑक्सीजन कम हो रहा है?
मैं खुद स्टाफ हूँ सर।
That was in Madhya Pradesh, where deaths more and more are now being blamed on oxygen shortage. Second time in 48 hours. 10 COVID patients die after Bhopal hospital runs short of oxygen. Deaths of people, hospital in Bhopal as well. Families blaming oxygen shortage. And in Ahmednagar, oxygen shortage reported as well in at least 12 hospitals, which are now saying they're left with merely 2 hours of oxygen. Relatives tell NDTV that they've been now told to move to other hospitals and move patients to Pune altogether. This is a hospital which has about 700 COVID patients now running out of oxygen. And in the national capital, things are so bad that in GTB hospital, 500 patients with just 4 hours of oxygen left. In fact, the Delhi Health Minister himself, now in a desperate appeal, has written a SOS letter to the Union Minister, Piyush Goyal, saying that there is an acute shortage and that it will not last the night as well, and that some help should come in immediately.
तो ऐसे में दिल्ली में ऑक्सीजन की डिमांड बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गई है। पहले दिल्ली को जितनी ऑक्सीजन सेंट्रल ने दे रखी थी, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट कोटा फिक्स करती है हर एक राज्य का, तो पहले जितनी ऑक्सीजन दिल्ली को दे रखी थी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने, उससे अब दिल्ली का काम नहीं चल रहा। हमने पिछले एक हफ्ते से बार बार सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि दिल्ली का कोटा बढ़ा दीजिए, मरीज बहुत तेजी से बढ़ रहे हैं। उस पर अभी कोई ठोस कदम नहीं उठाया गया। और आज हमारे साथ स्थिति यह है कि दिल्ली के बड़े बड़े अस्पतालों में 8 से 10 घंटे की 12 घंटे की ऑक्सीजन बची है और इस वक्त दिल्ली के अस्पतालों में करीब 16-17 हजार मरीज अलग अलग अस्पतालों में भर्ती हैं।
Standing with me right now is the brother of the patient behind me. The brother will tell you. आप प्लीज हमें संक्षेप में बताइए प्रॉब्लम क्या है, ऑक्सीजन की दिक्कत हो रही है?
मैडम ऑक्सीजन की दिक्कत है, सुबह से हम कम 4 हॉस्पिटल में जा चुके हैं, ना तो बेड है ना ही ऑक्सीजन है। एक अस्पताल से दूसरे अस्पताल, दूसरे अस्पताल से तीसरे अस्पताल, ना तो कोई हमारे को सही से ये बताता है कि हमारे पास ऑक्सीजन है, बेड है, कुछ नहीं है। वो आगे भेज देता है, वो आगे भेज देता है। हम तो इतने परेशान हो रहे हैं, सुबह से अर्ली मॉर्निंग से निकले हुए हैं, लेकिन ये चौथा 5वां हमारे पास में हॉस्पिटल है। किसी ने हमारे को कोई भी ना तो कोई तसल्ली दी है और ना ही हमारे पास में कोई ऑप्शन है हम कहाँ ले जाएं। ना कोई ऑक्सीजन है ना ही बेड है।
I can also just add a couple of minutes ago while I was waiting to speak to you, he actually asked the ambulance rider to take a round of the area because the patient was feeling suffocated and was feeling the discomfort sitting inside or lying inside the ambulance. So really the only message or rather the people's sentiment at the moment here is that officials, people in power, people who make those policies, please hear their voices out because they really need your help right now. This patient, this family has been waiting since morning to get his brother admitted just into a hospital. Remember, a COVID patient.
In fact, this is happening at a time when the national capital is reporting over 28,000 cases in the past 24 hours and the deaths, that's the alarming figure, over 277 to be precise, in one single day.
मैंने हाथ जोड़ जोड़ के बेड अरेंज किए थे, हाथ जोड़ जोड़ के अपनी मम्मी के लिए रात को। मैं मोदी जी से पूछना चाहती हूँ, मैं अमित शाह से पूछना चाहती हूँ, बंगाल में रैलियां कर रहे हैं वो, यहाँ क्या पेशेंट मर रहे हैं, इनको दिखाई नहीं देता?
India too witnessed its deadliest day on Tuesday with over 1,700 COVID deaths, its highest ever. But as India's COVID crisis deepens, families scramble from pillar to post for beds, oxygen and answers.
मैं LNJP से यहाँ पे रेफर किया था। यहाँ पे रेफर करने के बाद सुबह मैं यहाँ पे आया, 3 बजे मेरे पापा को एडमिशन किया। मैंने हाथ पैर जोड़ जोड़ के मैंने कहा ये मेरे परसों की बात है, परसों की बात है, और है ना कहा जाए ना मेरे पापा की डेथ हो गई है।
Suraj's younger brother did not even get a chance to say a final goodbye to his father through a video call.
एम्स गया, सफदरजंग गया, ठीक है, RML गया, भाई GTV गया, सब जगह गया, कहीं ने भर्ती नहीं किया। फिर उसके बाद यहाँ पे आके 4 घंटे में खड़ा रहा एम्बुलेंस में। एम्बुलेंस वाला कह रहा भाई जब तक भर्ती नहीं करेगा मैं यही रखूंगा एम्बुलेंस। साथ में जाके कोई एक सीनियर आया, उसने कहा चलो इनको अंदर ले जाओ, ज्यादा तबीयत खराब हो रही है। फिर अंदर ले गए। उसके बाद 3 दिन तक 4 दिन तक कोई डैशबोर्ड वाले खबर ही नहीं दे रहे कि कहाँ है पेशेंट, कहाँ पे गया है, कुछ नहीं बता रहे। सुबह से लगे पड़े, कह रहे मेरा डाटा नहीं चल रहा है, अपडेट नहीं हो रही है, एप्लीकेशन नहीं हो रही है। फिर अब जाके SDM आया तो उसने यही लिखा, फिर उसके बाद ले गया ऊपर, और फिर नीचे कोई आया, उसने कहा तुम्हारे डैडी एक्सपायर हो गए रात में। और अब जाके बताया।
Not just that, at hospitals, families patiently camp outside, citing patient care problems.
यहाँ पे अंदर देखभाल के लिए अगर मानता हूँ कि अंदर पेशेंट हैगा, आप उसको जाने नहीं देते हैं, तो अंदर खाना खिलाने के लिए, टॉयलेट कराने के लिए,
कोई तो होना चाहिए। यहाँ पे मैं संडे के दिन सुबह करीब 6 बजे में आ गया था, सही है। 6 बजे से मैंने यहाँ पे देखा है एक भी पेशेंट ठीक होके नहीं जा रहा है। जो अंदर जा रहा है मैडम वो मट्टी ही आ रही है, मर रहा है आदमी।
छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं। अरविंद केजरीवाल से मैं हाथ जोड़ता हूँ कि केयर करो, किसी केयर नहीं होती यहाँ पे अस्पताल के अंदर। कोई नहीं देखने वाला, यहाँ कोई नहीं है।
As India continues to fight an unprecedented medical emergency with an already overburdened staff, many grieving families continue to gasp for breath and a bed. With camera person Sushil Rathi in Delhi, Shanakshi Chakravarti for NDTV.
Just a few of the many voices that are roaming all across the national capital and the rest of the country as well. But there were some tough words today exchanged at the Delhi High Court, where the Delhi government alleging discrimination by centre in resources for COVID. The High Court said today that if medication was not being sent to places that needed them, then blood is on their hands. And as the government said, it had lodged a record of 32,000 cases in a single day yesterday. The court also raised question on centre's distribution policy of oxygen and vaccines. In fact, it went out to say that this is coming at a time that look at the wastage of vaccines that are happening across the country. They also importantly highlighted that what is the delay at this point. In fact, the Delhi High Court cited NDTV's report saying that we've been reporting on the oxygen shortage. The situation is very serious. The government needs to step in. All right, like we were telling you, the judge over there taking note of various reports that are now coming out and asking some tough answers, some tough questions at this moment for the government at the centre and at the state level as well. In fact, importantly, they slammed the centre, saying that petroleum and industries consume a lot of oxygen. In fact, they have huge pockets as well. Why is it that that cannot be put aside for some time and oxygen be prioritised for saving lives? All right, in news just coming in at this point, the Ministry of Finance has given an import duty waiver on the medicine Remdesivir injections and this and several other inputs as well. Now, this is what was tweeted some time back by the ministry. Later, Piyush Goyal also tweeted saying this is in line with Prime Minister Modi's priority to ensure affordable medical care for COVID-19 patients. Imports of Remdesivir injection and specific inputs have been made import duty free. This should increase supply and reduce costs, thus providing relief to patients. Meanwhile, vaccine shortage, that's another big thing in the country right now. In fact, in Mumbai, one of their biggest jumbo facilities set up, they have run out of stock. People went there with their appointments in hand, but they were told there is no vaccine available.
56-year-old Madhura Singh came here with her 80-year-old mother-in-law and sister-in-law for their second dose. They had an appointment. The jumbo center had no vaccine.
नहीं, ये गलत बात है ना, इनको पहले इन्फॉर्म करना चाहिए ना पब्लिक को। ये कोई तरीका होता है? इतनी धूप में हम लोग एकदम ऐसे हालत खराब होती है और हर तरह के लोग आते हैं यहाँ पर। आज हम लोग को रिस्क है ना जिंदगी का।
Many are visibly upset.
I have taken an appointment. Can you see this? This is the appointment given yesterday on the government website. Now you come here and they say that there is no vaccine available.
The BKC Jumbo Center wasn't the only one, and according to the municipality, out of 70-odd private centres, about 40 centres, that's over half, were either shut or were on the verge of closing. Even BMC-run vaccination centres had only a day's stock. Every day, about 60,000 people are vaccinated in Mumbai.
आज हमारे महानगर पालिका के बहुतेक वैक्सीनेशन सेंटर चालू है। कुछ निजी अस्पतालों में जो सेंटर थे वो उसमें से कुछ बंद है। उसके दो कारण हैं, एक तो उनका स्टॉक खत्म हो चुका है या उन्होंने स्टॉक लेने के लिए जो कुछ तकनीकियाँ पूरी करनी पड़ती हैं वो पूरी नहीं की है। आज संभावना ये है कि वैक्सीन हमारे पास में आएगा और हम कल से फिर से जो आज सेंटर बंद होने जा रहे हैं या हुए हैं वो शुरू करने का हमारा प्रयास रहेगा।
The plan now is to vaccinate all those who are above 18 from May 1.
But for that, a formidable strategy needs to be in place so that the beneficiaries won't miss out on the vaccine. In Mumbai, with camera person Praveenji Rohit, this is Purva Chitnis for NDTV.
And a news is coming in. Assam has decided to give free vaccines to all between 18 to 45 years. This is an order that has been placed for 1 crore vaccines by the Assam government over there. At the moment, remember, Assam just went into polls, but the caretaker government at this point, led by Assam Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, has tweeted about this, saying that they will be giving out these free vaccines, and the fund collected in Assam Arogya Nidhi shall be used to procure these vaccines. Remember, the Prime Minister said that this time around there will be an open market pricing and the states will have to procure at least 50% of those vaccines. And while we bring you all those updates, really these are desperate times, best understood in the words of this Mumbai doctor.
We have to literally manage patients at home with oxygen, and this is not something we are enjoying. So I really want all of you to follow a few things that I really, अगर आपको लग रहा है कि आपको 1 साल से कोरोना नहीं हुआ है इसलिए आप कोई सुपर हीरो हो या आपकी इम्यूनिटी बहुत अच्छी है और आपको ऐसे कुछ नहीं होगा, तो आप गलत फहमी में हो. हम यंग लोगों को देख रहे हैं. I mean, we have a 35-year-old who's on the ventilator and we are not able to help people now. So we do not want, we really don't want any of you to be in that situation. So, sorry. I think ये जो emotional breakdown है हम doctors में अब सबको कोई ना कोई समय हो रहा है because we've not been so helpless, okay?
Welcome back, and as the country debates lockdown or no lockdown, this is the harsh reality, perhaps also highlighting that India has simply not learnt from the first wave at all. Look at the condition of the migrants in Ludhiana, Kanpur, Delhi, Ghaziabad. From Mumbai to Delhi, migrants are leaving again. Stations, bus stands are crowded again as they continue to say that they have no money, no food, and simply cannot afford to stay in the city anymore. Need of the hour, a relief package maybe coming in from the centre. Well, moving on, and as we end this bulletin, this is news coming in from the United States, which has now put in a ban. The US CDC travel advisory says very high level of COVID-19 in India, and even those who are fully vaccinated may be at risk. Now, US has placed India at the highest level 4 category and asking people to avoid all travels to India over the spreading COVID-19 variants this time around, as India has gone from double to now a triple mutation. That's it from us and the team. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.